Welcome back to the Road to National series. In today's episode, I'm going to take you through a GPP workout and I'm going to be talking to you about nutrition and how I think you should be managing your nutrition for strength gains. But first of all, this is me warming up for my main workout today. Just doing some pogo pops here. I think I do a set of 30 and then I do a set of twisting pogo pops. I find doing these absolutely essential to warm me up for my plyometrics. That's the first thing I do at the beginning of my GPP workouts. Whilst I'm fresh, I'm going to try and take advantage of my explosiveness and do my plyometrics. So I find that warming up with these pogo pops are really essential, especially since I'm so much heavier than when I used to jump about. If you're a light person, you could maybe get away without them, but I still recommend doing them. So here are the box jumps, the first of my plyometrics. Now, I'm meant to be programmed sort of sagittal plyometrics, which is forward and backward plyometrics. However, it is absolutely chucking it down outside and the ground is just like a slosh pit all on the grass. That's the area I have to use. So I decided just to do two vertical plyometrics for today, a dual-legged one and a single-leg one. So I started off with some easy 14-inch box jumps. I'm literally just starting to try and get myself conditioned for doing plyometrics and doing these GPP workouts on top of my regular training. I am not a seasoned veteran at doing plyometrics. I've not jumped around and been athletic in probably like half a decade now, which is a terrifying thing to think about and to say. I can still like play sports and do things okay, but I need to go easy on plyometrics. So that's why I started with some relatively easy low box squats. Then for a single leg plyometric, because I was feeling good, I decided to do these split stance jumps. They felt fantastic. I was going to do them up onto a box, but I actually find getting down from the box to be hard, particularly when you're on one leg, and it was hurting my injured knee. So one of the main reasons I'm doing this style of workout is to help improve my knee. So I do these split squat jumps. Then I move on to do stationary farmer's walk. Again, I was supposed to be outside, but the ground was far too wet and I just stuck it straight away. So I sort of did a stationary farmer's walk in the rack. Then I did hip holds with a kettlebell. If you don't know what those are, you'll see them later. Now I was supposed to be doing sled drags, but again, it's terrible weather conditions outside and I actually don't have a sled yet, so I'm gonna have to do these hip holds until I get a sled, and finding a place to do my sled drags is actually proving quite difficult unless I'm gonna do them on grass. So I haven't fully worked out the logistics of that yet. And then I ended off with an axle bar hold, so just working on my grip strength. So whilst those exercises are playing in the background, you could see my GPP session. I'm going to talk to you about nutrition. Now, the first thing to say is that I am main gaining, basically, like slowly gaining weight. I find this to be very effective for strength. It is very hard to be in a deficit when you're constantly trying to be stronger, particularly with the conjugate system. When I'm often maxing out, I do an upper max and lower max every week. If I'm in a deficit, I'm trying to beat my max efforts. I'm trying to beat my existing records, and I'm trying to be at my all-time strongest. So if I'm in a deficit, it's hard to maintain and push being your strongest all the time. You can get around that with like exercise selection. Just do max efforts I haven't done for years or ever before. But I'm main gaining. I'm basically up about 15 kg, which is like 33 pounds in the past 4 years. It's almost been 4 years since I ended my degree. And that's the weight I've slowly gained as I've been getting into powerlifting. I probably started powerlifting about 3 years ago in 2023. So I find main gaining to work as long as I have enough energy from your nutrition to work out. That's great. Do not dirty bulk. And the difference between bulking and cutting should basically just be caloric manipulation. So I wouldn't ever do something like dirty bulking and trying to force feed random burgers. I would have your normal type of foods that you like. And when you're cutting, maybe you just do things like I do, cooking with low calorie sprays. I have to do these anyway because I have the propensity to gain lots of weight. If you're someone who struggles goals to maintain low body fat percentage, that's like me, I don't even have to try to gain weight in order to be maintaining. If anything, I'm trying to sort of lose weight, but making sure that I have enough energy to train with. But if you're somebody who would normally bulk, literally the only difference I would make is maybe if you're doing salmon and rice or chicken and rice or some sort of meal like that, cook it in oils, cook it in fats, cook it in butters. That's going to add so much calories. Maybe have like full fat versions of things like Coke. If you ever have drinks, get full fat versions, and then use full fat versions of sauces and stuff. But for most people, you should be doing the opposite of that. That's the way that you easily rack up calories, or can be the way that you can easily save calories. Reduce what you're cooking it in, the fats basically. Cook without olive oil, cook with 0 calorie sprays, and that's the easiest way to drop a load of calories really quickly and allow you to eat more and to get in a deficit if you need to, or like me, just want to reduce your calories as much as possible because you're very prone to overeating. So the best way to track your calories and manage your nutrition, I find, is to create a meal bank. So this is my meal bank quickly. It's just going to flick through, but basically you create a bank of all of the meals you regularly eat. So the idea is as simple as it sounds. Because you have this bank to go back to, you should try day to day to always eat off this bank. I can track pretty much straight away. At the end of the day, I just think, oh, which 4 meals did I have? I try and have 4 meals with about 3 or 4 hours spacing in between to spread them throughout the day. And then I can just sort of count, oh, what meals did I have? Track them really quickly at the end of the day. And even if I'm not tracking calories, like, I know that I'm on track because I'm eating those standardized meals. I don't have to like weigh out rice or anything like that, or weigh out the different sizes. Like when I have salmon, it's just the 240 grams of salmon that I buy in 1 pack. That's the amount of salmon I eat. Or when I have sausages, it's like a standard 4 sausages. They're going to be the same. So that's what I advise you do. I also then advise that this leads you to having a set path when you go shopping. Do the same shopping trick and don't even go down the rubbishy aisles with loads of like crisps and chocolates and stuff like that. If you've got a meal bank, you'll know your set path through your local supermarket or your routine, and then you don't have to go and be tempted and then just don't have rubbish in the house as well. You could also shop on a full stomach. That's a great top tip if you're trying to lose weight, because if you are hungry when you shop, you generally buy the stuff in the house, and then if they're in the house, you're going to eat them. Now, it's hard if you've got a family and stuff, because obviously other people buy other things into your house, and if you've got kids, you probably want stuff for them, but you're just going to have to use your willpower. So one last thing as well, don't be afraid of like diet drinks and stuff. There's been a lot of fear mongering and people saying about the chemicals and that it's carcinogenic. Honestly, load of rubbish. It is way better for you to save the calories. Like, being obese is going to be way worse for you. So that is it for today's video. I hope you did in fact enjoy the video. If you did, drop it a like, drop it a comment, subscribe, click the bell, all of that good stuff. Literally no energy left in my hands, and have a great day.